Talking about Russia right now, the situation kind of Russia has been kind of aloof from the rest of the world in terms of EFL only. I'm talking about, not the
Yes.
other political part. So when I got the news about the sanction and everything in terms of EFL, I thought that's a blessing because this will let them start their own indigenous courses and books and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you think that they're ready for this? Like to have
Yes.
their own indigenous stuff? Like do they
Yes.
can they produce those teachers or the books?
Yes, they can. I mean, Russians are really clever people. I mean, they're
Hmm.
seriously clever. I mean, they like to be nihilistic and pessimistic about everything. You know, it's like Russians have this sweet, sort of humorous attitude that we have to be the worst at everything. We're the worst in the world. Everything sucks. Everywhere else is better. And it's very sweet about them. But however, they're very clever people, very soulful, very, very nice.
Yeah, true. I agree
Despite
with you.
what the media says right now, and it makes me sick to my
Completely. My heart with you. Heart with
yeah,
them,
it makes me
seriously.
sick to recall how Russia is portrayed, you know, because a lot of it is not true. Um, you know, they will find their own way.
Mm.
Because the thing is, Russia, when you look at Russian history, there's always been one crisis every couple of years. You know, war, crisis, Moscow on fire, war, invasion, on fire. There's something like this all the time. Russians learn to cope. They really
Mm.
learn to cope. So the first reaction when there were sanctions, they're like,
Who
yeah,
cares?
we don't mind, kind of thing. We'll cope. And I think they're going to, in EFL, I think they will look for alternatives. I don't know how long Cambridge will be out of Russia. I mean, Cambridge have said to a few exam centres about 6 months. I don't believe that. I
Mm.
believe it's going to be a couple of years.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think this is going to be a long, protracted
Correct.
issue. Even when this special operation is over, which it will be relatively soon,
Mhm.
then comes the aftermath. I think not many companies are going to come back. I
Mhm.
think the world is going to change fundamentally over the next few years. I think it's the time for countries like India,
Mhm.
India, who is rising economically and socially. You know, why Indians could create an alternative to Cambridge, Russia could create an alternative to
Trying
Cambridge.
very hard, trying very hard. Trust me.
Yeah,
Trust me. We're
I think
changing the education completely.
yeah, and it's a very exciting time. It's a very exciting time ahead. You know, of
The
course,
power is
for
shifting right now. The power is
it is
shifting.
completely. It is. I think that one of the things that where say Russia and India and other Asian countries and South American especially
Mhm.
will do better is that I think, like you said, I think they're going to take the tasks unto themselves to improve
Mhm.
their education systems. I
Yeah.
really hope they do.
Yeah.
They're going to improve EFL because it's not going to stop. It's only going to get better.
Correct.
Um, I don't think EFL is going to get any less. I still think that even if the state school system in Russia improves, I still think
Yeah.
parents are going to send their kids to extra classes because they want them to have more practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just going to get better. I think some institutions are going to become self-reliant on creating their own materials.
Yeah.
I think the native speakers are going to be few and far between in Russia now. Many left, that's a fact. Many
Mm.
left. Not
Mm.
all, there's still a few left. Some good, some not so good that I know of. But this is a time for Russians to really work hard on themselves
They have to.
to
No
get to that high
alternatives.
level.
They don't have
Yeah,
no alternatives, man. I mean, that's what I feel. I really I want to understand one thing. These new teachers, like somebody who's like 22, 23, who just graduated from a particular university and wants to be a teacher. They're kind of demotivated right now. Don't you think so?
yes, they are. A lot of
Well,
people are demotivated.
what is your advice to them?
If they're demotivated about becoming a teacher,
Hmm.
I would say, I would actually, it's a good question. I would say if they think that their life is going to be spent in a state school or, you know, working in some language school for like the equivalent of 6 Twixes or Snickers or something like that, of course, it's very depressing. I would tell such teachers that go online. There are many forums, there are many communities where you can get a lot of information for free, a lot
Hmm.
of support. You can be taught how to run a business, how to be a private tutor. You don't necessarily have to work for a school, how to get qualified. I would tell teachers that yes, in the first year or 2 years, you have to put in the effort because that means planning your lessons, spending hours planning lessons, you know, making mistakes, getting tired. You've got to go through that hoop. There is no shying away from that. You've got to put in hours at the beginning of your career, and then find out what you're interested in and just kind of branch off. Because I would also tell teachers you can make good money from teaching English in EFL. You can. Whether you want to open your own studio, and that's what I advise people to do. In fact, I would say to them, if you're going to at least teach privately, so forget state schools, like we're talking about EFL. If you're going to teach privately, don't teach individual students. Don't do it. Because you could make so much more money by renting a small room, stick 12 chairs in it, which won't cost you much. And basically, for the same time you would teach one student, you can teach 12. And so the money that you charge per student would be less than what you would charge individually. You therefore get more students willing to pay. And you get a lot more money with one student. And it makes it so much better. And there are more students to go around than teachers. There'll never be a shortage of students. So that's what I recommend. And in fact, I've told many Russians when I've done seminars, whatever, like, open a studio. Don't do one-on-one. It's a waste of time. Unless, of course, they're comfortable doing that and it's just some money on the side. Fair enough. But if you really want money, that's the way to do it. Again, some people teach for the pleasure, then good luck to them. If they're happy working in a state school, they're happy working in a language
There are
school.
teachers like that. There are teachers like that.
And it's everyone's own choice. But, I think that, like, I would say probably only a small percentage of teachers I know remain like that. After some time, most teachers are like, I need more money.
Probably not in Moscow, but in the Siberian region, I've seen a lot of teachers who wants to go to a state-run school, and they want to teach there because the benefits they get from the government.
That's the thing. You're absolutely right. So, like, in some Russian cities, like, the pay in state school can actually be really, really good. You can talk about 80 to 100,000 rubles. That's not just in Moscow. That can actually be in some Siberian places. I know that for a fact. But also in some other Russian towns, you might be on 20,000 rubles a month, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it depends where you are. So if you're in a city where you've got a good state school system, good pay, good benefits, then you're more likely to work there, because you're very unlikely to get 100,000 rubles in a language school in some Siberian city. It's just not going to happen unless you work 7 days a week from 9 till 9. That's what I think.
Okay, so coming back to a little lighter topic.
Yes, mate.
In one of your YouTube videos, I was recently checking about you and a lot of things, as much as I could find about you. I saw some videos of your channel. So in one of your videos, you said that 6 years back, you said that you want to travel as much as you can in different countries to impart your knowledge. How many countries have you traveled?
Oh, I suppose since I started, quite a few. I've been over lots of parts of Asia. Haven't been to India. I'd love to visit. I've been around Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Hong Kong, China, loads of areas around there. I've been around parts of Africa, South Africa, Namibia, North Africa, around some European countries. I went back to Germany recently just to try and practice my German. You
haven't left that yet. You haven't left that yet.
No, German. I still keep up my German to some extent.
Why?
It's because the English for me is I already speak it. I kind of feel I'm cheating.
But do you really need it? Do you really need German? You don't need it, right? Just to.
No. The only thing German ever got me after years of studying was some compliments from Germans, like, you speak good German. Like, what about a job? No. So it hasn't really served me well, I suppose, except compliments. But traveling, it helped just to get my mind off teaching, because the job just get tiring.
Africa is one place where we really want to visit, if possible. After a couple of years, it's an amazing place. I've seen a lot of photographs. Some of my friends live there.
Up and coming as well. So up and coming.
And South America, like we're talking, like Brazil, Argentina. This are coming big in terms of EFL.
It is huge.
Paul, you have been teaching in Russia for 16 plus years, and it's not just for the earning money. I can feel it's an emotional connection, and also you're giving. It's a service for the Russian people, and I'm sure they're blessed to have somebody like you.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I'm sure they're very proud of you. My last question: you have climbed this ladder to the top to to come out of your own country and to climb the ladder to the top. So if you meet Paul 16 years back right now, what did you say?
Interesting question. I always believe things happen for a particular reason at a particular time. But I think if I went back, I would say to myself, don't worry so much. Because I used to worry a lot. I used to be very insecure about myself. Maybe I would have spoken to myself to maybe get over the insecurities a bit earlier, because it's like a very long process for me. Maybe all of this could happen sooner rather than later. So I think I would have said to myself that everything's going to be fine. There's no reason to worry. Don't be scared of certain things, and just go for it and take the risks. Take the risks now, because there's not, you're not going to lose your life. You'll be absolutely fine.
Correct.
I think that's what I would have said.
So beautiful, man. It almost gave me goosebumps, because we all struggle in our life, and for people like you and me who want to climb a little extra, want to do a little extra, we need this kind of motivation. Right?
We do, and I think one of the biggest things in our jobs is that when we teach our students, as I said, we teach them to be better rounded people, and if we can inject a sort of a bit of a personal touch into our classroom, we open up and we say to our students, you're not alone. Because even our teachers, you're this kind of like experienced teacher. Yeah, I have sleepless nights, and I had problem students. I had classes go wrong.
True.
I had personal issues. I was married and divorced, years ago. Like, I'm the same as you, kind of thing. And when they understand this, it gives them a sense of comfort. It gives them a sense of connection. And as a result of which, they have this family atmosphere, and they're not afraid of making mistakes. They're more motivated, and they learn quicker. And that's the thing. And they keep coming back to you, paying money as your students.
That's how your psychology classes have helped you, right?
Yeah, definitely. Again, they really help me overcome personal issues, insecurities, to get more confident and to be more responsible. That's the most important thing.
What's next, Paul? What's next? This is my final question. Just give your best. Just let us know what is next.
Yeah, sure. So basically, loads of big projects. I'm closing my Cambridge online courses for a while, because Cambridge have left. So the demand is going to go down until they're back. But actually, I've been doing it for so many years. I'm having a very, very long break from them. Very long break.
Would you miss them?
Probably. I moan about them, but I'll probably miss them. Like, I miss it. I'm going to open face-to-face schools here in Kazan. I'm going to open a few schools. I want to open a teacher training center in Moscow. I want to open a kindergarten as well. And then I would really like to sort of travel to other countries where they have EFL, say like India. And I would like to speak to people about the psychology. Again, this is not like some kind of cult or some kind of spiritual thing. It's just about pure science, about like seeing your life differently, that can actually turn you around and make you into a good teacher. Because when you're confident, the work is just 50% less. It just becomes less. It just becomes easy. You don't even need to try so much anymore. That's the beauty. And I want to kind of teach people, the journey that I went through and how I overcame that, and what I did in my teaching career, not just about psychology, but lots of other things, and help people around the world to become better teachers.
Wow. Those beautiful lines, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming and having this podcast with me. And probably someday we'll be sitting together in Moscow and drinking samagon. I was about to say coffee, but
I'll fly down to India. At least I still think there's flights to India from Moscow.
Please, Paul. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, Mr. Bye-bye. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.